Punk said, let's get to it. And we are here for you.
I'm assuming.
Now, are you looking for one of the hottest podcasts out right now? We talk about relationships, trending topics, black culture. Punk is here to fix your relationship.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
We
working on it.
He's working on it. Got Punk in the booth. We got Juju in the booth. We got 100 people watching on TikTok Live.
Said 100.
120 and growing. I guess nobody got nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon, I guess.
Nah, they just rather be here with us.
No, I heard that.
I appreciate y'all.
Heard that. And we are here.
Alright, we gotta get focused.
Y'all wanna talk cordially, or y'all wanna get right into it?
You know how we do.
Go ahead. We usually talk cordially.
Get right into it.
You wanna get right into it?
How you been, Juju?
I've been good.
That's what's up.
I've
That's
been
wonderful.
good. Been well.
My boy, Deuce.
We up to 248 on the TikTok. All right.
You good, Deuce?
I'm good. Hey, I've been great lately. You know,
That's what's up.
I've been great. I've been taking time for the family. I've been, not working as hard. New job, getting this money. You know how I go.
Yeah.
Juju, how you doing over there? How's the business?
Business is good. I'm getting back to me, man.
Thriving.
Good, yes. Started my mentorship program, something I've been trying to put into play for so long.
So you mentoring like kids?
Not
adults?
kids. Specifically younger girls coming into my industry, into aesthetics. So
Okay.
yeah.
A beautiful thing.
Yes.
Let's
I'm
let's
excited.
let's get
Super
these young
excited about
kids some careers. Let's get them to making some
Yeah.
money. They could be business owners. They could make some
You know
money.
I'm all for it.
We yeah, we know. Oh, we know. And we are
All
here.
about it.
All right. Man breaks up with his girlfriend because of her son's bad behavior. Fair or foul? Punk?
Oh shit, it's on me first.
It's on you,
I was
Punk.
hoping it wasn't.
Nah, that's on you, Punk.
Man, that's tough. That's tough.
Why is it tough?
Because I feel like kids need like a father figure. So I'm assuming that maybe this child don't have a father figure, or he is the father figure. But maybe not if it's just breaking up. But I think it's fair. Like, it's not his kid. I don't want to deal with. If it's a headache, it probably cause strain on the relationship, and that's tough. It's tough to do anyway. It's tough being like a stepdad, to kids, and then you can't discipline them. You gotta tell mom every time they do something so that she can handle it, and if the kid bad, you feel like you can't do nothing or can't say nothing to him. Nah, you don't want to just sit in that. So I guess it really probably depends on the relationship with the mom and how they go about even handling the kid.
You think it's fair, Juju?
Of course.
Can you explain why?
Well, I'm a mother and I have 2 boys. But have y'all seen the youth lately?
Yeah.
Have y'all encountered them?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these kids, man, I wholeheartedly stand on this. I've said it a number of different times. I blame parents because teaching starts at home. That's the first avenue to your kids learning anything. You cannot expect anybody else to tolerate your children the way you do. And if you allow your children to be disrespectful, that's exactly what they're going to be. Me personally, I'm not allowing my children to be disrespectful to any adult. I wasn't raised that way, and I don't raise my children that
That's
way.
not what he said, though. It wasn't that the kid was disrespectful. It was just that the kid was bad. Maybe he cuts class. Maybe he acts up in school. Maybe he runs away from home. Maybe he, do
Well, no, I was
what
saying
bad
that
kids
speaking
do.
in general to like what we see as a collective in a lot of the youth today.
Right.
It's complete disrespect. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the situation was with this particular guy and his lady, but I mean, a lot of these kids, they just have no respect. They don't fear authority. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I could be a disrespectful kid growing up, especially if my mom wasn't around. I had a flip mouth.
So was it your mama's fault?
Well, my mom wasn't around.
When
You know
was
what I'm
being
saying?
disrespectful?
No, my mom literally didn't really raise me. You know what I'm saying? So, but my grandparents raised me, right?
So was it your
So, like,
grandparents' fault?
no, I did what I wanted to do when they weren't around.
And I'm glad you said
So,
that. Because
can I just finish
go
what
ahead.
I'm getting at?
I just want you to remember.
So,
that.
like,
Go ahead.
naturally, your kids they're gonna behave differently when you know what I'm saying, when you around versus when you not. Things that I did when my grandparents weren't around, of course I wouldn't do it in front of them, but at the same time, I knew better. And it's certain things that, like, as far as, I'm sure have y'all seen the video of the teacher and the young lady fighting?
Mm-hmm.
I would never have challenged a teacher like that. Whether my parents were there or not, my grandparents were there, I would never have challenged an adult in that way. Like, I've had plenty of things taken from me in school. Plenty of times, been chastised plenty of times by my teachers. I would have never challenged my teacher to a fight, swelling up in her face, all behind her desk. I just wouldn't do that. So, is it fair game? Yes, I totally think it is, because I'm not dealing with nobody's badass kids. But that's just me.
You finished now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you said you blame the parents because it started at home, and then you said I did things that my grandparents wouldn't have approved of because I wasn't in their presence, how would you feel if someone said, oh, you being a bad kid and doing those things, it starts at home, so your grandparents clearly aren't raising you right, or where are your grandparents? You would feel like my grandparents took care of me, probably did a really great job, but the decisions you made are still the decisions you made when you were away from them. So I don't automatically blame the parents because I have 4 sons myself. I know I tell my kids what's right, what's wrong, what I expect of them, everything else. When people see them in public and we're around, it's like, oh, you have such good kids. But y'all don't know what I deal with inside my household with my kids, or the things that they do when I'm not around that I have to find out about. And for somebody to tell me or feel like it's your fault, no, these kids are making decisions that I can't control if I'm not there. And I had this issue with the school system. Oh, your son cuts class or is tardy all the time. He's in the building. I get a notification daily. My kid is in the building on time. So if he's cutting class, why are you calling me? Because everybody is going to look at the parent and say, it's the parent's fault. Can I come walk through school with my son and make sure he go to every class? No. But the school isn't taking fault for that. They'll send a truancy officer to my house. But I can't, what can I do to him to make him go to class once he's in the building?
But here's the thing, and going back to what I also said is, like, I knew there were boundaries that I was raised with. So when I say I could be a disrespectful teen, meaning, like, yeah, I had a flip mouth. So my teacher may say something to me and I may mumble something back, may say something back, but I'm never challenging this lady swelling up in her face getting ready to try to fight anybody.
It's somebody looking at you like, oh, I never would have cussed my teacher out.
Could be, but it's me saying something, mumbling something under my breath to you is completely different than me challenging you to a fight. That's two completely different things. It's levels to everything. We ain't gonna sit here and pretend.
Disrespect.
We can't pretend like it's not. It's
And it ain't
levels
no
to
levels to
everything.
doing the wrong thing. Like, you can't say I'm only a little wrong, but they're more wrong. No, we all wrong.
That
We've
yes, you
all
can,
done
because
this.
it's just like when you do wrong in a crime, each crime has different levels of punishment behind it. Like, yeah, it is
That's
levels
but
to
but are
everything.
did they all commit crimes?
I'm not saying that they
That's like
did, but you
talking.
can't sit here and negate that it's not levels. Like, okay, like, that's just like you steal a car. You not gonna get the same time as somebody who killed somebody.
I guess what I'm saying is, who am I to judge on what level of whatever they're doing? And I know I've done the same, not the same things, but I've done things that my parents wouldn't have approved of, and I
We
still did
all
them
have.
exactly.
We
And
all
I
have.
would be damned if somebody tell me your mama didn't raise you right, cause she absolutely did. She absolutely told me don't curse at teachers, don't do XYZ. You shouldn't be hanging with them people. What did I do? Made my own choices to do those things, and when they backfired on me,
So were you fighting teachers growing up?
it don't matter. That's
Were
what
you
I'm saying.
fighting teachers growing up
When my
though?
mama was growing up, she probably wasn't cursing out teachers.
But were you
Shit
Were you
advances
challenging
as
teachers
time
to
goes
fight?
on. Things advance as
What
time
could
goes
possibly
on.
give a kid
Who knows?
you that to
I
me
don't think it's the
this,
parent.
and this is just my opinion. I feel like and this is what I've seen and experienced with a lot, because keep in mind a lot of these teenagers, their parents are our peers, my peers. I'm 40.
I have a teen. Yeah,
So
I have
a
two
lot of these
teenage
teenagers'
sons.
parents are my peers. I know people who are my age, still out partying every day, every other night, in a club every weekend, popping pills, y'all drinking. You not even where your kid, all that shit that happened downtown a couple of weeks ago. Where was y'all parents at? Because how you don't know where your 13, 14, 15-year-old
Who
at?
said they didn't know? You asking a question? They might have knew they. Did you go downtown as a kid?
No.
Okay.
I didn't get to I didn't
I got
experience
to go down.
downtown till I was like 18.
Deuce, did we go
Something
downtown
like
as
that,
a kid?
17, 18,
Did
when
we
I
go to
started
the?
going on
Did we
dates.
go to the Taste of Chicago?
Yeah.
Did we go do
Yeah,
whatever
no,
we
I didn't
want
do
to the
and
movies
it-
downtown?
Yeah.
It's
We
like
did
it's
these
such a
things.
beautiful place. What would make you want to go down there and destroy it? Downtown Chicago's such a beautiful place. Why would you want to go down there and destroy it? Like, at the end of the day, it's layers to all of this that's going on with our youth.
Tony Randall.
It's so many layers to it. Because it's a lot. It's mental health issues. It's a lot going on. But in my opinion, and I'm standing on this, it starts at home. A lot of these people, from what I see in my experience, I know people who allow their kids to cuss in front of them. Teenagers, like, how your teenager talking to you like that? They don't even respect you enough to call you mine. They calling you by your first name. Like, what is that? And if you don't respect your parent, you sure as hell not gonna have no respect for any other authoritative figure or anybody else that's an adult.
You look like you got an opinion, Punk. You look.
Like-
We are on a podcast, so you might want to. Are you done? Oh no.
I'm just not blaming parents for what kids are doing. Not 100%. We went downtown. We kicked it. We hung out. Did we do stupid stuff? Yes. Am I finna say my mother is the reason? No. Where was my mother at? Probably at home, cooking or something. And knew where I was. But did I still make these dumb choices? Yes, I did. And I'm not going to blame her as if she didn't tell me the right thing to do. And I'm not finna blame all parents for that. Are there trash parents? Absolutely. But every kid doing something bad ain't got a trash parent. They're making their own choices regardless of what you tell them to do. And sometimes people, kids, teenagers, adults got to let life kick them in the ass. Regardless of what you tell them, regardless of how you guide them, they make decisions that you look at like, damn, this is disappointing. But what could you have done to change that if you're not there? Are you going to tell your kid you can't never go nowhere if I ain't with you? No.
Well, I'm grateful to Jesus, to God, for Jesus, that I don't have these issues with my children, because, and not that I won't sit here and be like, my kids know I don't play. But one thing about my children is they know mama don't play. Like, you're not going to embarrass me, because I'm going to embarrass you before you embarrass me. You weren't raised like that. It's just certain things you don't do. Even when I spoke to my 15-year-old about everything that went on downtown, his response to me was like, "Yeah, mom, but I'm not stupid." And that just gave me a whole like shift of joy, just that you could recognize stupid immediately and know like you just don't do stupid things like this. Like I don't care. We all did wild stuff when we were young, but that's just
We all
destruction.
did stupid things, but your
That's just
stupid thing was
destruction.
bigger than my stupid thing. So
Yeah, because these kids out here robbing, they stealing. One of my,
those
I just
criminal-
seen,
That's okay.
most of them are young. Most of them are 14 years old. If the parent is not responsible for for your child, who responsible for them? Because that's a minor. 14 is a minor.
So how do you fix it then?
I never said I had all of the answers, but I just it just doesn't
What should a
resonate
pa-
with
what
me
should
when
a
people
parent
be
do
like,
to fix
"Oh, I
it?
don't you can't blame the parents." Well, if the parent is not responsible for this 14-year-old child, then who is? Because we talking about a minor here.
So
Whose responsibility
do
is
the
this
parents-
14-year-old?
How do the parents fix it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Ray, all I can say is spend time with your kids. Talk to
That's
your
the
kids.
assumption
Like,
that they're not. That's an assumption that they're not.
well, if your kid is out at 11, 12 o'clock at night, what kind of time are you spending with them? And again, we are talking about minors. Why are you even out at 11, 12 o'clock at night as a 14, 15-year-old? Like, you got school in the morning. Why
It
you
might
still
have been the
outside?
weekend.
No,
Maybe they
it was on
don't.
Sunday. They had school Monday. So why
I
you
ain't so
outside?
sure, but okay.
Yeah, that happened on a
Well,
Sunday night.
That don't mean it was school Monday. It might have been a holiday.
It wasn't.
I
What
don't
we
know.
ain't really had no holidays that just took place.
Easter just passed, and kids was on spring break for like a week.
That was
But we-
early April though. We talking about this
When
was
did
just
this
like
happen?
2 weeks ago. This was when was that? I think it was like Sunday before last or something like that.
Y'all talking semantics now.
Yeah.
Really,
Really?
but
I
I
mean,
mean, at the end of the day, the point is like, why is your 14, 15, 16-year-old? I mean, some people may give 16 a little bit more lineage, but why is your 13, 14, 15-year-old out at 11, 12 o'clock at night, like
I don't
without
think-
you?
I don't.
Especially today, in this era that we living in, it's just not even safe. But you know,
Punk,
to each his own.
Punk, you just was
this
out
is just
late,
where we
so it's hard
we
for you
agree to
to.
I
disagree.
was what?
You was out late young, so that's hard for you
But
to.
but the
agree
crazy,
with
I
her
was
stance.
too though. I was too. Mama, like I just said, my mom really didn't raise me. My grandparents, I had stern grandparents, but they were old. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were pretty old. My grandmother was in her late 70s. You know what I'm saying? Raising me. So, but it's just
Yeah,
things
that's
that
pretty,
then I
yeah.
had my grandparents who lived in this, because I grew up in a family building, so we all were in the house together. There were just boundaries that I knew that I could not cross, because if my grandmama got wind of it, it was going down. And then again too, like, we had neighbors. Everybody worked together as a community. That's another something that we lack right now. Because if one of the other elders saw us doing something we had no business, they was telling. And I got whoopings in my house, like not even whoopings, but shit, we got beatings. So we didn't play. Most of the youth in my neighborhood knew what type of man my grandpa was. Like, a lot of the young people did not play with my granddaddy, and they weren't even related to him, but they just had a respect for him, and that's a lot that we lack too. But we just agree to disagree.
Yeah, I get what both points are saying. I really do. Like, and I don't think it should be like a blame thing. That's where I think where Punk is trying to go with it. Like, because kids, their brains aren't fully developed. Like, as much as structure and as many things that you instill in them, and as many positive things that you instill in them, as many programs as you put them in, as busy as you try to keep them, they're still gonna make mistakes and do not
Stupid stuff.
Say it again.
Stupid stuff.
And it's gonna happen, and
Before I had kids, my mother told me, kids will break your heart. Just remember that. And it's happened many times.
Okay. All right, this is gonna be a quick little segment because I don't think we could get too deep on this one. Um, have you ever lost a friend over a pyramid scheme?
No.
Have you ever been invited to a pyramid scheme or one of those what they call multi-marketed? What they call? I don't know.
Yeah.
And opinions.
Nope.
Just trying to be lighthearted here. Break
Nope.
up a little.
I
No.
ain't got no opinions on it.
Okay. What about you, Juju?
Never been invited to one. Never participated. Never.
Okay.
Never know.
I guess I gotta go here. One of my friends, they were doing that. You should be here. What's that? That you should be here one.
The travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
even
had a
gonna say
friend
the
that was doing
name
that
because
too.
I can't remember. But I didn't lose a friend over it. But you know they try to do all their tactics to just make you sign up and make you feel awkward if you don't sign up.
Yeah.
That's a manipulative shit there. But I wasn't with the shits. I'm like, nah. This how much? And I'm looking at her like, I'm broke, so I don't know why you got me here trying to sign up for some shit. It was about 10 years ago, so you knew I had a damn money. I don't know why you got me here.
Are they still doing it?
Nah, that the whole thing has been found out to be a scam, So, all right, let's get back into our bag, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking with these topics. Punk, is there a such thing as simping for your wife? Or over your wife? However you want to word it.
That's a tough question.
Okay,
Can
can
we
we first clarify what simping is?
Yeah, thanks. I was trying to ask that same thing.
I'm like,
Go to the goose.
Can we define simping before I give a
I'm like, I
true
already
answer
know what
to
that is.
Hmm?
I don't really know what that is.
Okay, let's see what Google say. Let's
Oh, I thought you was about to tell us.
let's see what ChatGPT says.
Hey.
Oh, goodness.
Simp is an internet slang term describing someone who shows excessive sympathy and attention toward another person, typically someone who does not reciprocate the same feelings in pursuit of affection or sexual relations.
So the person don't feel the same way.
They don't reciprocate the same feelings of affection.
In that case, I'm really gonna say no.
Okay. Can you expound?
I mean, in relationships, like, yes, we want reciprocation. Y'all know I preach that all the time: reciprocation. But if you gonna choose to stay, you can't stop loving the way you love or doing the things that you do if you're making that choice to stay. So I don't think it's simping. I just think you being who you are, and because that person don't reciprocate it, don't mean you stop being who you are.
Okay. Based off of that definition, do you believe that it's possible to simp over your wife or over your husband? I guess. Can women simp over their husband? I think they can.
Do they simp over their husband?
I think they
That's
do.
the question. You think so?
In their way, in their particular way.
Wait, what was the question?
Can you simp over your spouse?
I think you should.
Oh.
Vice men, women, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
I think you definitely should. Like this is your life partner. Y'all doing this entire life together. And based off what you saying the definition is, absolutely.
Why would you stop giving that love and affection? And I guess kind of what Juju's saying, like if y'all both have that mentality, then
Wait, he says
Probably.
you stop giving it?
No, I'm
it's
saying
not
why would you
reciprocated.
stop? Like I'm saying, I feel like what you're saying is you should keep giving that.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
for
agree.
sure.
Like why would you stop? Because that's probably
But
an
Juju, you're
issue.
gonna continue to give that if it's not reciprocated.
Well, if it's not reciprocated, then we gonna have to have some conversations.
Well,
There
that's the
has to be
simping part.
some conversations that have to be had. Maybe even a little bit of counseling. If this thing is gonna work, because
But Punk's saying you should do it regardless. You should keep doing that same behavior regardless if they reciprocated.
well, I don't think
E-
you should stop because they're not. But that's what I'm saying. I think definitely conversations need to take place. Maybe counseling, because maybe that person is just not as an affectionate person as you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this is why y'all know I'm all for therapy. This is why therapy is so necessary. Because marriage is work. It's work. It's every day choosing to work at this thing. So if you want it to work, then you got to make necessary adjustments for it to work.
As you get into that, perfect segue here. Does your partner have to be your everything? Best partner, best lover, best friend, best at finances, best looking. Juju?
I don't feel like they have to be the best lover, the best what was it? Wait, let me read. I
The
can't
best
remember.
partner, best lover, best friend, best
I do
conversationalist, best
totally expect my
finance,
spouse to
best
be my best friend
emotional
for sure.
intelligence.
Need you to be emotionally intelligent for sure. Conversationalist, I feel like yes, to a degree, because what are we gonna do if we can't even communicate with each other? You don't have to be the best at these things, but I need you
That's the question. Do you have to be the best everything to you?
To you.
to a degree, yes, to a degree. Because again, if we not gonna work at becoming better, like how's this marriage thing gonna work? How this gonna work?
Punk.
That's way too much pressure for me.
Elaborate.
It's just hard for any one person to be your best everything, your best conversationalist, your best friend, your best lover, your best like everything. Like, nah, that's a lot of pressure. That's a whole lot of pressure. You should be able to come to me for everything. Yes, we should be best friends, but I don't have to be your best friend. Like, you don't even have a best friend outside of my marriage that you
Have an outlet.
like talk to, can go hang out with, whatever. Like, you don't have nobody else that you like, oh, we have great conversation. Like, I have to be your best everything.
But he didn't say
That's
that. He just
that
said
was the question. Does your partner have to be your best everything, best lover, best friend, best conversation, like
no, no,
your
no. I'm
best
talking about when you talk about best friends. Like you, not saying that you don't have to have another best friend, but yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be married to nobody that's not my best friend. Like I
I
want
don't
you to
think
be my best friend.
I don't think you understand the question.
If you ain't even got to be my best sex partner, my best lover, my best, but I want you to be my best friend for sure.
So he don't need to be your best everything.
Well, I guess not.
Okay.
Okay, cool. That seems about right. I agree with Punk. It's hard to be all of them things rolled into one, the perfect package.
Ain't no package perfect.
That's because men y'all just different than women.
What
Yeah.
what you
Y'all just
mean?
different.
What, I mean, we are different, but like,
Very
I
much
hope
so.
that's a good thing. I hope you mean that in a good way.
What do you mean by that?
Shit.
What do you mean by that?
The emotional attachment is way different.
I'm just trying to
In what
figure out what.
aspect,
The
though?
emotional attachment, the emotional most of
Like,
the time,
y'all's
the
is
emotional
stronger?
intelligence.
You mean you
I
guys?
think when it comes to emotionally being emotional, the emotional intelligence, women just operate at a higher frequency than men do. But that's my opinion.
I don't. A Punk. You.
I'm not arguing that.
You're not going into that. Okay.
We've had the emotional intelligence conversation many times.
Hey, every episode's a new episode, bro.
Yeah, we definitely deal with our emotions differently, but I'm not just gonna say we not emotionally intelligent, and
I
that
I think it's about even. I think it's about even Steven. Like I think that a large amount of people don't know about or they're really not in tune with their emotional side or what however you want to explain it. Emotional intelligence. We know that's like a hot word, but I think it's even Steven. I just think that once you're introduced to knowing why you act the way you act and why you respond the way you respond, and when you dwell into that and start, getting into that, then you really start learning about your emotional intelligence. That's how I feel.
That's
But,
true.
but I think it's even Steven. I think it's about the same.
I guess I'm just trying to figure out what men and women being different have to do with whether you have to be your significant other's best everything. I'm just not sure, like,
No,
why
we
it.
started talking about emotional intelligence and stuff like that. It's funny though because I hear so many men talk about how men are not emotional creatures, women are emotional creatures, but now everybody is emotionally intelligent. Most men are not. Most men are not in tune with their emotions.
Y'all not physical creatures, like,
We weren't designed to be.
but women are doing physical things that men do. You can learn to do these things, right? So is it like,
And a
is
lot
it a thing
you
that men can't be? Like, I'm confused that you saying
nobody
that,
said that
like,
they couldn't be,
you're.
but here's the thing. I said what I said was most men are not in tune with their emotions, and they are definitely not in tune with their woman's emotions. That's what I'm saying. A lot of folk don't even want to go to therapy. That's the first step of helping you to be in tune with your own and your partner's. But
I agree with that.
I hear more men decline therapy and are resistant to therapy than women on any given day.
Well, maybe we need to bridge that thought process or bridge that gap in the thought process.
Oh, sure.
Because I don't see anything wrong with therapy, and
I highly recommend it. To everybody,
it could be
not
very
just
good.
men, not just then. Let me clarify, not just men, women too. Like we listen. I'm an advocate for all black people need therapy. Being black in America, you need therapy. With everything that we deal with, it's needed.
All right, Punk. Should you put your wife on a pedestal?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
It's my wife. I chose you for a reason. Like, I'm assuming I chose you because I felt like you were better than the other people that was in the fields. So why wouldn't you be on the pedestal? You're already on the pedestal.
Should you put your husband on a pedestal, Juju?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because that's my husband. For me, it's God, it's my husband, it's my children. This is who I married. I said he asked, I said yes, and hopefully he asked because, today is a lot different now, but he asked, I said yes. I said yes for a reason, So, yeah, I think that works both ways. We should be each other's number one fan. I'm your hype man, you my hype man.
Who you think put their spouse on the pedestal more, men or women?
I don't know. I don't know.
You
I
think
can
men?
only speak for me
You think men, Punk?
Huh?
You think men?
when it comes to that, because yeah, I don't know. I've seen stuff I've seen in these marriages. I don't know. I don't know.
You want to elaborate?
Listen, but I do think that it should definitely go both ways. I think for me, I want you to be my number one fan. I want to be your number one fan. I want to hype you up for everything that you got going on, everything you want to have going on, all of that. I want to be able to learn from you and be able to tell somebody, girl, 'cause my husband told me. That's me. I need all of that.
All right. I'm going to play a clip for y'all real quick. What's y'all opinion?
They don't have the ability to make their own plans and figure out how to execute them and then come to us for permission.
Right.
They're not old enough to date.
Yeah.
So if your son's not prepared for that, then he shouldn't be dating my daughter. Number one. Number two, I don't know what your rules are in your house, so you keep inviting her over, but she can't come to your house because I don't know you. And I don't know what you're about.
Yeah.
And she's the girl, so that's not going to be a thing. Your son wants to come over here and get to know us, by all means, he's welcome to come get to know us.
Yeah.
Even better if he wants to go out and do something, bowling or some sort of activity, they can get their own lane.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be several lanes down or nearby.
Yep.
But they can go hang out and get to know each other and do whatever. And I don't allow her in boys' rooms and boys aren't allowed in her rooms. Yeah. That's not going to be a thing. So whatever your rules and values are at your house, I appreciate you sharing them with me so I know what they are and I can understand where you're coming from and how that.
All right. Appropriate age to start dating. Punk, I think you got something to say. All them boys in your house.
Appropriate age.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it depends on how their kind of maturity level is. But if I just got to throw like a raw number out there, probably 14 or 16, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Juju?
Look, I be telling my sons, wait till they get married.
Today?
Don't date until you get married.
So they gonna be like, what's that? Married at
No,
first sight?
No, I think again, it sure depends on because you know your child, you know how mature or immature they are. I would hope that my son is mature enough at 16, and then he would have like my blessing for that. Because I think anything before that is just like, I know, and of course I talk to my kid all the time, so I know he likes girls, and he has some little youngins that he texts with and he talks to, and I'm completely against it because I've seen text messages from these little girls, and it's just like one little girl told him she was toxic. Like, what is that? And my son had to be like, I think, he's 15 now, so maybe he's like 13 or something when that took place. And I'm just like,
What'd you say, bud?
At least she being honest with herself already.
but why does this little girl, why does a 13-year-old girl even know what that is? Like, why is that even in your vocabulary to be calling yourself that? That's just some mess that she heard either in her house or online. It was just all weird to me. And I'm like, look, you stay away from that because that's ridiculous.
She probably really is toxic.
Like why are you saying this type of stuff? But yeah, 16. I'm hoping the maturity level is there. I think but I do agree with what he was saying. With a lot of what the guy in that clip was saying. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. You can date, but we need to be present. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You having company. Ain't no you going in her room, she coming up in your room, and this is what it is, and y'all got privacy. Mm-mm. Yeah.
You Punk, you let the boys have girls in their room?
Nah.
Okay.
You can sit in the front row, bro.
Mm-hmm. I heard that.
Yeah, I need to be able to hear. I need to walk past and see.
I got cameras, so you need to be where one of them cameras point.
So, yeah. It's too much.
Man. Let me watch my words. Uh-oh. Can't date till you 30. Nah, I ain't gonna be one of them. I think y'all about right. About 16, 17, 15, 15, 16, 17. You know,
Yeah.
typical, typical. You gotta learn relationships sooner or later. Might as well be under my supervision when you first start learning.
Until then, focus on your schoolwork. Get
That's
good
yeah,
grades. Get
yeah, but
learning.
that sound good. But we talk reality on here. You know that sound good. They gonna do it to a
They
certain
gonna do
point,
it
but they
anyway.
still
Like
want a social life. They
it's gonna
still want a
happen.
social life.
I don't. It's no way around your kids dating. You can tell your kids not to like people until they're a certain age, and they still gonna like people. They find people attractive. Like, I mean, what do you expect them to do? Close their mind to that part of.
But at this point in life, I don't tell my sons not to like girls, cause baby, if you come and tell me you like them, whew, Jesus, I'm grateful. Okay, but I just feel like we live in a and it's not just this era, cause I can think back into growing up myself where sex was just like it was prevalent, but I feel like it wasn't the way it is now. It's like it's just pushed. It's at the forefront of almost everything. TV, music.
They can access it.
You know, it's way
Well,
too
shit,
it's
we
way
could.
too easily
We
accessed
was
now.
just, I don't remember who we was talking, who I was with, but they was just talking about how we had access to HBO and Cinemax and learned how to, I think we talked about it on the pod, like learn sex and stuff like that from watching TV. It's been prevalent. They just
Yeah, but
have,
I ain't had cable
it's,
growing up. So you know what I'm saying? Like we watched regular TV in my house. So a lot of that stuff, like I know, you know, my uncles would sneak like magazines and back then you had like the what is it, the VHS
VHS tape.
tapes and stuff like that. You know, sneak those.
So the
But
access was still there.
now it's like it's right in their hand.
That's technology.
It's
That's times being
it's on
more
social
advanced.
media. You know what I'm saying? It's like everywhere. It's everywhere. But you know, I feel like that's all designed too, you know. So most of the stuff is by design, the way it's supposed to be, or the way people want it to be anyway.
Punk, you had anything else that you want to discuss? Snowfall or anything? I don't know. Did we talk? I don't think we talked
Ooh,
about the ending.
I
Or
read
I
a
know
post.
Juju don't partake, but we
She
can
don't. But I think
talk
she
though.
probably feels some type of way about this post.
Okay,
It
good.
was,
Yeah, pull that up
it
for
was
me.
pretty,
Oh, the
yeah.
way you said to you.
So it was a picture of,
Spoiler alert if you ain't seen Snowfall, but it's been
yeah,
out for a
sorry.
while.
So they got a picture of three women: Franklin's mama, his wife, and his auntie. And it say they all destroyed my man Franklin Saint, the real villains. And I didn't think like this initially because I be trying to see the good in people, I guess. And I'm not, let me not say that I'm just automatically saying that they were villains. But they definitely played a part in his
His demise.
destruction. Yeah, like they,
Well, who is Franklin?
He's just the main
yeah, he
character.
the main character of the show.
So okay, what was his destruction? What happened to him?
So he was
lost
working for the
his-
CIA, lost like they seized like 70 million bucks. He was on the hunt to get his money back. He had to go through that because his auntie went behind his back, stole the plug. Plug cut him off, seized his money. After he put the auntie on and whatever, business was thriving. He got married, whatever. His wife.
Wait, is this the guy y'all was talking about? His wife wanted him to stay in the game and he wanted to get out the game the last time?
Nah, that was Power.
No, that's
Oh.
power.
So-
okay. Shit, I'm all over
Him
the
and his
place
wife
then.
had real estate stuff. You know, he needed this money so they can finish funding the real estate stuff so he could get out the game, whatever. He made a move. Well, no, before this, he was finna get $37 million of the money. As the person who has the money is giving the numbers to the bank for them to do the transfer, his mama shot him so that Franklin wouldn't get the money. And then his wife took the last $800,000 he had, which he sold some property to get so that he could finish funding the property they were building. She took it out and left.
And can I just let me just reiterate? This is why I don't watch this stuff. This is why I don't watch any of this stuff.
Let me
That's-
come
that's-
in.
that's
Let me
why.
come in. I felt like that meme was very triggering. It was very triggering spin to put on it.
It was.
Whoever did do it did it for a reason. It was a very, but it was a deep way to think of it.
It
Look
was.
at it. And Snowfall, great show, man. It was a. It just every episode looked like a movie and felt like a movie. You know, I wish he would have got his money, but he messed up when he was about to choke up his wife. He did choke up, didn't he?
Choked up.
When he choked up his wife, that's when he blew it. Like, you know, you blew it, man. Like you should know you should know her background. Like, she ain't finna just let you.
Physically abused.
Nah.
Threatened her and all that.
Nah, he messed up when he messed up with his woman. You know, like, and she was ride or die.
She was.
So you ain't need to do that. Yeah, she made a mistake and she did some
That was
stuff
the
that
second
seemed.
So what
People
was the
make
stuff she
mistakes
did?
more than once.
She cheated on him.
Nah.
She went behind his back and
Offered
some-
up
some
like
money stuff.
like set up like some real estate deals. You know, he felt like that showed weakness, and he
She didn't talk to him.
She didn't
about
talk
it,
to him
just had
about it.
somebody pop up at the crib.
Yeah.
Like,
No, she didn't have him pop up. I feel like he popped up
but
just to
she
make
told him-
sure.
She told him he was interested in selling.
Yeah,
the
absolutely,
property.
absolutely,
So dude
yeah.
went to see what was up.
He blew up the spot. That's what he did.
That's why I watch it. It's all toxic.
Man, that's a good show.
All
It
toxic.
was. It definitely was an interesting spin they put on it. I wasn't looking at it like that at all. They all had they fault in it, but they definitely did him dirty. Auntie did for sure.
Ain't no black love. Ain't no husband love.
Man,
no wife love.
the whole
no family
thing was
love.
destruction. It was love when our money was coming in
Oh
and
my
everybody
God.
was eating and everybody was.
Leon, he got up out of the.
He did. He did. Oh, damn, for your children. I don't know what that means.
You got any comments on the YouTube?
Yeah, Tony Rando definitely commented a bunch. He still might be watching. He said, "Yerp, I made it." Ooh. He said, the homies in high school who had guns and was selling weed wasn't even 18 yet.
Man, they act like these kids doing something so different than what was going on back then. It's just seen because social media, everything is like damn near live stream these days. You know what's going on within like 2 hours of it happening. And we act like the same stuff wasn't happening.
Either that or I don't know. Maybe I grew up in a box and
I
because
look-
I didn't know I didn't have friends who was
I was 18 in college and literally watched people destroy cars and light poles and shit because the White Sox won a championship. Like, it's not like this stuff is foreign. We done seen people break into stores because the Bulls won a championship, like tow the city up. It's not like this stuff ain't never been seen before, but now all of a sudden it's like it's the parents' fault. That mean it's been the parents' fault. So it none of our parents shit because we was all doing stupid stuff we shouldn't have been doing.
when I was growing up, I feel like the young people that I grew up with, we still had respect for authority. We still have respect for our elders. Like, I'm so I used years ago, at least 10 years or more.
Our authority.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like
Yeah, we really
my
respect them, or was it just fear?
and that's the thing. Either way, but that fear had you respect these people.
So that's
These
what we
young
doing.
people don't fear anything. They don't respect anybody.
I don't want somebody to respect
Anytime
me
I'm
because
hearing-
they fear me. I don't even.
Anytime I hear that a 13, 14-year-old kid done robbed a elderly man and beat him up and like that's ridiculous to me. We used to, at least from when I was growing up, I remember guys would help the elderly. You saw an elderly woman walking, you took time to help this woman with whatever she had going on, whether it was her bags. You saw an old man, you helped these people. We helped these people.
But it wasn't all
We
the
didn't
judgment.
beat them over their head and steal from them and take, like,
It wasn't
I don't
all
know.
the judgment it is either. Like, old people were receptive to that help. Nowadays, I done tried to help an old person and they act like they don't want help, or like, so no, I'm not gonna try to help you.
But when you turning on the TV and all you hearing and all you're seeing is how these
that
young
ain't my
people.
fault.
It may not be, but all I'm saying
So
is
you get to be
understand the
disrespectful and treat me wrong
How
because
is that
of what you're.
disrespectful? Because they turned away your help.
Then don't tell me I should be helping. Don't ask why these people not doing it. Because if you saying it's okay for them to not want it because of what they see on TV, but at the same time saying the youth shouldn't do what they do because of what they see on TV, it's a contradiction.
No, I'm
Everybody
saying it's a reason for the resistance.
It's a reason for everything that's happening.
Man,
You don't think it's a reason for resistance
myself,
with these
I'm
young
nervous
kids?
when I see young people, when I'm around young dudes, especially if I'm out and these little niggas be trying to holler at you. When you hear that a nigga done beat up a girl because she didn't want to talk to him, then beat her half to death or shot her because she don't want to take his number. Hell yeah, I'm nervous.
Is this the first time
No,
this stuff been
bruh,
happening?
it's okay. For me, yes, because I never heard about these type of things when I was growing up. And
it
maybe
wasn't no YouTube, social
I will go back
media.
to
It was
maybe
none of
I
that.
lived in a box. Maybe I was
We all lived
subjected
in
to a box.
We lived
But
in
no,
a box called
I
the
didn't know
neighborhood.
about these things. I didn't hear about these things. So to hear about these things now as an older woman, it blows my mind that you got young people out here operating like this. Yeah, that blows my mind. I'm sorry, but it does. Not really sorry, but that's crazy to me.
But I just think that it's a small amount of the young people. I don't think it's as big of a amount of young people doing these type of things that the news perpetuates. We can't just like go against our youth and be like, youth need to get it together, get off my lawn. Like we can't do that. Like our youth is our future. You get what I'm saying? Like our youth is our future.
These
like,
are not the kids Whitney
So-
Houston was talking about. That is our future.
I got a question for you though, right?
These ain't them kids.
I got a question for you. So you see what happened on TV, right? And some nice young man come try to help you with something, and you like, oh no, get away from me, right? But then that young man, from your experience, the next person he see in your situation, he don't offer help. And then they curse him out. You could have offered help, da 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 da. Or he's speaking like you. Our young people don't even help the elderly. What is his reaction supposed to be to being treated that way? Is he supposed to keep trying to help the next person?
If that's who you are, then do what you do. If it's not, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's okay for everybody to react off what they see, but it's not okay for me to react off what I go through.
You can, if that's who I just said, if that's who you are, then do what you do. Okay. No one person should, if this is who you truly are, no one person should change what you do and how you move. That's just that. Like if this is what I do, if I'm a helper, I'm gonna help people regardless. You know how many times I done been jaded by people, but it doesn't change who I am because I still want to. I'm out here now. Like I got a whole mentor program where I want to help younger girls. I'm still not. I'm not jaded by it. I'm not turning my back on them because they all need help. But the issue is like, how do you really reach these people? How do you really help them? That doesn't keep me from wanting to try because that's just who I am. I'm a helper. I like helping people. I want to see everybody winning, everybody doing better, everybody being better cuz we great. We supposed to be great. So these young people that still, even though yes, I do still get nervous, that don't make me not want to help young people. I got 2 young boys. How can that make me not want to help people when I got 2 young boys? I would want people to help my kids if you see them in a need.
We're not talking about older people helping kids.
I'm saying
If
in
you
general,
fear
period,
the youth,
whoever.
and it's not that simple. If you look on TV and all you see is negative shit about the youth, and you're fearing them, as you said, I get nervous when I walk past youth too, right? If you have that feeling and emotion, and then that's being transferred to this youth, what are you expecting his reaction to be towards people of your age group? The same way yours is towards people of his age group.
My reaction is nothing to them. When a young dude, if you talking, trying to talk or whatever, I'm oh, thank you, I'm going about my business.
I'm not talking about
I'm
you,
not rude
though.
to them, any of that.
So you don't think it's no people out here rude?
I don't know. It could be, but that's why I led with, if that's who you are, then do what you do.
What you're saying is the same thing as me saying, I ain't did nothing to this older person, but they looking at me a certain way based off what they see. You're saying the same thing, but you want these kids to react differently.
I want these kids to act like they got some manners. Act like they got some home training. Act like you got some sense.
Okay.
Like, how does it make sense to you to just be a destructive person? What does that do for you?
What I'm saying is the youth that aren't destructive, if somebody can look at that person and say, oh, you young and your hair like that person, so I'm scared. Why do you think he's going to try to help the next person down the line? So
I'm just trying to understand, because you like, if she turned away my help and she disrespectful and turned away my help, why is it taken disrespectfully if you offer to do something for me and I say no, thank you?
Because why are you judging? The same way you said you're scared of the youth, I wouldn't want some of these youth to. It's the same reaction. You don't think people
because
sense
somebody
that?
said no, thank you, I'm okay. How?
So do you
How
want?
is that?
Hold on.
That's the most pleasant way you could say that.
Do you want help or not? Because now it sounds like a contradiction. These young
people. It's not a contradiction. You just want it to be something that is not. All I'm saying is, it's no disrespect. And if a person offers to help you and you say no, thank you, I'm okay. That's not disrespectful. That's not disrespectful at all. Now, what I'm saying is when you turn on the TV and you hearing how young people out here, because I've heard several stories on people up north where some older man was walking or something and some young boys like jumped him and robbed him. Like, who does that? Why?
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
It don't even matter.
Go ahead.
It don't even matter. You got another topic, Deuce?
Follow the TikTok.
It was another topic.
Yep. Y'all want to get into them topics?
I think it was one more, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
go ahead. Pick one of the ones that was left. There was a couple of ones left.
Oh, was it? I thought it was just one. Oh, yeah, it was a couple.
Oh, yeah.
Or did we touch on that?
Nuh-uh.
Monogamy being important.
Yeah, okay. I did want to touch on that. That'll be the last one. Because the other joints is kind of wild.
Yeah, they are. And I wanted to get into that one.
One of the other ones?
Yes. I seen a Facebook post on that.
Yeah,
recently.
get into it. Go ahead.
The one was like, have most women been involved in a train?
Because I saw a clip and it was 2 people saying that
85%.
They said what?
They said 85%.
Oh, I thought they said 95.
Oh, maybe,
yeah,
you
what?
Right. You might be right.
What you think, Juju?
I think that's a ridiculous number. I there's nothing in me that can believe that. Now, what I will say is I have definitely heard stories. I've heard stories from dudes that I grew up with, even stories from exes who have talked about things they did with girls. I just find it hard to believe. And as a matter of fact, I think, was it a woman who said that?
Yeah, it was a woman
was a
and
woman
a
who
dude.
said that.
Yeah, it was two
And
women
I'm just
and a dude.
like, I don't know. I just find that hard to believe.
What do you think? 50%?
I don't.
She don't think 20%. You know, women don't do nothing wrong.
No, it's not that women
That
don't
ain't
do
wrong.
nothing wrong. Because don't get me wrong. Like
It's
I have,
wrong in Juju eyes.
I've
We
damn,
don't
I've
kink shame
definitely,
here. Save it for
It's
this.
wrong in
definitely
Juju
had
eyes.
I've definitely had my heathen days growing up. But I just find it hard to believe that 85 to 95% of women have allowed multiple men to like run through them at one time. That's some weird shit to me. And
Why
I
is
just,
it gotta be run through?
I don't
Why is
believe
it
that.
gotta be such a negative
because it
connotation?
is. Come on, you laying down and you letting dude after dude after dude pounce on you? Yeah. Would you want your daughter to do that?
I don't have no daughter, so I can't speak.
No.
I don't have any daughters, so I can't speak.
Would
on
you
it.
have that to
It's
be?
that ultimate
Would you?
cop-out.
Okay, but
You
you,
want a
do.
daughter.
You do,
I
Julian.
do, but I don't have
Ju,
no
you
daughter.
got a daughter. Is that behavior you would encourage in your daughter? Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well,
Enough said.
Dad wasn't
That's
even think
enough
about
said
stuff
right
like
there.
that.
Exactly.
Let me just
That's,
say
that's
that.
my whole point.
I don't wanna
Most
think
men
about
don't.
stuff like that.
Most men don't. And it blows my mind that so many men will defend that and be like, oh, it's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but bruh, do you got daughters? Because would you encourage that in your daughter? Remember, the way you treat women, would you want a woman to be with the man who treats them that way? Most men would not. And I've recently had these conversations with men, like just in the way you speak to women, the way you handle women, the way you address women, communicate with them, all of these things. It's like, would you want your daughter to deal with this? Because I don't think that you think about that until you start having daughters. And I just think until you have a daughter, if you having a daughter does not change your perception and your perspective on the way you deal with women and the way you handle women, I think you a lost cause.
Why you laughing, bro?
And I said what I said.
Because people can't do what they want to do to be happy. I don't. If I had a daughter, I don't know what me wanting my daughter, how I would want her to be, has anything to do with what some woman that's an adult decides to do with her body. She is her own person. I ain't got nothing to do with what she want to do with her body.
Okay, so let me start with the clip I saw where this young lady was speaking about this. She was talking about younger. She was talking about being young girls. Teenage girls. So that's why I'm saying I find that hard to believe. Like that 85 to 95%, and I could be wrong,
You
y'all.
know what's
I don't
even
know.
wilder about what she said? What about this? One, she said in Chicago. It was a Chicago thing. The clip I saw, and
Was it a light skinned kind of like heavy girl?
I don't really remember, but
Because I think that was
she
was
said-
her.
They said in Chicago, but in those teenage years, how old you think that lady was?
Oh, the girl in the car. Well, I don't know. Probably maybe 30s to 40 or something.
So that
Her-
mean them teenage years
mid to
was
late
about
30s?
like your teenage years.
Yeah, it would have been the
Okay.
same. And that's what I'm
So-
saying. I find it hard to believe.
You keep finding. You said you lived in a box, right?
I guess so
Okay.
then, because my God, ain't no way. Ain't no way.
And I'm not saying I know people that was doing it, or I believe. I'm just saying we got to stop living in our box and thinking that these things ain't happening, because they are.
That's crazy. It's just, I don't know. It's like the little emoji with the brain exploding. That's how I feel right now.
Mind blown.
That's
Punk,
for real.
at what age were you exposed to your peers having sex?
I want to say like maybe for real, probably
Yeah.
like 6th grade.
Really?
Damn, that's 11. That's like 11.
I've heard younger than that.
It might have been. That's why I'm like 6th grade, maybe 5th. No, it actually might have been like 5th grade, because I transferred 6th grade, so it might have been like 5th grade. You saying exposed like they was having sex?
Yeah, like
I mean, it
two
was a
classmates.
Yeah,
you know
probably
that's
about
what it's
5th grade.
usually. You like, dang, they did
Y'all
what?
doing that?
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
what's
I was
going on?
in
Like,
2nd grade, and some little girl was
that's what I was saying.
doing
I've experienced
stuff on
I've heard
boys in 2nd grade. So, I mean,
in the
it's
coat closet.
yeah,
Hmm
yeah.
Whew.
So, it's
Yeah.
all right. I guess get off of this somber
I
note.
guess
Shit.
that's that. Damn, that's
Oh, we ain't doing the monogamy one.
We can. Let me if my camera. Oh, here I go. Is monogamy as important 15 to 20 years into a marriage?
absolutely.
Expound.
Absolutely. I don't give a damn if we was married 35 years. I expect you to still be faithful to me. And vice versa. You should expect that same thing from me as your wife. We did not take these vows to just be like, oh, well, just until we pass year 10. And then after year 10, everything goes out the window. It's like, no. Now, that's not to say that things won't happen, mistakes won't happen, and I can't say that you know what? I don't even know. But yes, I expect that. I absolutely expect that.
So you're saying it's as important?
Yes,
Okay. Punt.
for me.
I just think people need to do what make them happy inside of their marriage.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's
That's
simple for me.
we could use that answer for every topic, but
It's that simple for me because it's just that it's that simple for me. People got to do what make them happy in their marriage. Everybody ain't the same. All people ain't the same.
Oh, that's for sure.
We accustomed to things that may not even really be our customs, but it's just how we were raised, the mentality. And I'm just not in the judge of people for what they decide to do to make them happy because we really don't know how this life thing go. Like, we're doing life based off what we're told to do, what we're shown to do, and that shit changes with the ages and the time. So it's people probably in the 1800s looking at us in 1950 like they doing some wild shit, and them people from 1950 looking at us in 2023 like they doing some wild shit, and we gonna be looking at people 30 years from now like they doing some wild shit. It just is what it is. The times continue to change, so people got to do what's gonna make them happy. We talking about monogamy right now, but who's to say in 50 years that the world won't be poly and it won't be normal to be monogamous, and then people will be looking at us like they was really doing that. We don't know.
Well,
and
I'm
then they'll be
one person
judging.
for the rest of your life.
I'm
They'll be
I'm
judging
definitely
based
not
off that.
somebody
That
who
sounded
conforming
crazy,
to what
though.
the rest of the world doing. That ain't never been me.
You are conforming to what
But
the rest of the world is doing
No,
with
no, I'm
monogamy.
not.
What makes
No,
you think
I'm
that?
not. I'm because that's what makes me, like you said, what makes you happy. That's what makes me happy. That makes me happy. I'm not gonna be in a marriage where I feel disrespected, and you cheating
taught
on
you
me.
that was
You being
disrespectful?
it's how it makes me feel.
Who
I'm
taught
talking
you
about.
that?
I'm talking about how it makes me
When
feel.
was the first time you heard about monogamy?
I don't know. Who knows?
Exactly. You
But
was a
I'm
kid,
talking
right?
about what. Listen,
Were
I've
you a
had
kid?
plenty of relationships. I'm speaking on what it makes me feel like to know that my partner, my man, my husband is out here with somebody else.
We're taught.
That's disrespect for me.
Okay.
Now, whether I'm going to deal with it or not is one thing versus the other. But I'm speaking on how it makes me feel.
What's the disrespect?
Because why are you out here being with somebody else? Like, and you have me. What's the point? What am I here for? But to each his own. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole shit with Chance that went viral with him dancing on the chicken carnival. That was a big thing. I spoke my piece on that. Whatever works
did
for
you?
somebody.
What was your
Yes.
piece on that?
Whatever works for somebody else's marriage is their marriage. But for me, that would not be okay for my husband.
You divorcing them?
That would not. Well, That wouldn't be okay for my husband to do.
Are you divorcing him over
and
that?
vice versa? I would not want to be married to a man who thinks that it's okay for me to do that on another man. That's not him.
Are you divorcing him for
Absolutely. Yes, I would.
that? Okay.
Yes, I would.
Yo, carnival twerk.
Hell, I'm divorcing for less. Shit. So yeah, you're not gonna disrespect me, especially if I've made it clear to you that that's a problem for me. You operating with other women in a certain way is an issue for me, and you continue to do, because it was dudes on my post like, it's just a dance. But if I'm explaining to you that this is not okay behavior for me, what that says to me is you don't give a damn about my feelings. You don't care about me. Because if you care about
that's
me...
That's what that means.
Yes.
That one action means all of that.
No. If I've expressed something that I don't want you to do, right? Mm-hmm. And you continue to do that, that means you don't care about my feelings. You're not taking my feelings into consideration for anything that you are doing. Mm-hmm. In what world do you do that with somebody that you claim to love?
So you do everything your husband tell you to do?
If he feels a certain way about it, yeah, I'm gonna take his feelings into consideration before I do that again.
Do you do everything your husband tell you to do?
So as I stated, because he always wants this to be something else. So when we are talking about you being with another woman, me being with another man, right?
That ain't what I asked. You changing the question.
No, this is what we're. The question was about monogamy. That's you being with another person or me being with another person. The whole chance situation was this nigga getting gyrated on by a woman who didn't even have no panties on. Let's be clear, because she didn't even have no panties on. He got nothing but ass from that dance.
So he committed adultery at that moment?
No, I didn't say he committed adultery.
So was he still being monogamous?
For me, I felt like it's disrespect to his wife. But clearly, his wife didn't feel like that because she has since spoken about it.
Was he still being monogamous?
Obviously, that's something that works for their marriage. My point is that is not something that will work for my marriage.
You don't know what she feel. She
recently spoke on it.
She didn't post nothing about. She might have chewed him the fuck out at home.
No, she spoke on it and she seemed to be okay with it.
Get to the public.
So
why are we thinking that everything these people say online that it's the absolute truth?
Well, if it's not, that's just stupid. Because if you didn't agree with it, why get online and portray something?
So
that's
y'all
not?
can
Like,
leave it the fuck alone and mind y'all business and stop having opinions on their shit.
But again, for me, that ain't gonna work for my marriage. That's you're not gonna publicly.
Did he stop being monogamous?
You're not gonna publicly embarrass me. And then come behind closed doors and we go like, oh, okay, it's all good and whatever. No, like you didn't publicly embarrass me. Like how you out here moving like this? Like
monogamous?
You assuming she was embarrassed. Though.
We don't know. No, I'm speaking about me.
It's like
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. That wouldn't work for me.
Was he being monogamous? Because you said we talking about
you
said we talking about monogamy or not.
You asked your own question.
What is him not being monogamous at that moment?
It's respect.
What was him not being monogamous that moment?
I'm talking about that we led to that because you were saying people have to do what works for them in their marriage, and that's why I transitioned into exactly because what works in certain people's marriage is not for everybody else's marriage. And I said I am definitely not a person who's conforming to what everybody else in the world is doing. A lot of women like to go to the strip club with they dude. I'm not doing that. That's not my thing. You gonna tell me that I'm wrong or I'm whatever? What prove you wrong?
That's my whole point.
So that don't work for my marriage. It don't mean it won't work for theirs because people do a whole lot of shit. It's a lot of people who invite other women into their bedroom and have threesomes and stuff with their husband. Not something that I'm gonna do. So what works in one person's marriage don't work in everybody's.
It's just the judgment part for me. I don't really,
Why do you feel like it's judgment? I'm not judging anybody. What worked for you is your thing. That's good for you. That just ain't flying in my house and in my bedroom. You do what make you happy. I just know that wouldn't make me happy. If that was my husband, I'd feel completely disrespected.
And it's divorce worthy.
And if I've told you, if I've told you once that that's not okay, that's not appropriate behavior for somebody that's married, for you as my husband, and that makes me feel a certain way. Now, if you go and do the shit again, then we got a problem. Cause man, bro, we had this conversation already.
Juju ain't with the shits, all right?
At all.
Follow the TikTok. Gotta work on that arm jiggle there. Follow the YouTube. Any last words?
That's the chicken skin.
And no, yeah, I gotta work on that. Do some push-ups, damn. Yo, no more topics, but y'all good. Peace out.
That's funny.
Peace out. Hey.